Welcome to Book Summary Podcast, your gateway to personal transformation. Each episode delivers big ideas from the world's most impactful books on mindset, productivity, and success, all in just a few minutes. Ready to turn knowledge into action? Let's get started.
Welcome, curious minds, to the deep dive. Have you ever felt that subtle whisper, maybe, or perhaps a persistent kind of tug, that there's just more out there for you? Not just, more money in your junk account, but a richer, more vibrant, more expansive life. That deep, almost universal human desire for abundance that seems to tap into something fundamental within us.
Yeah, that feeling.
If that resonates with you, then you are in for a truly fascinating journey today.
Absolutely. Today, we're embarking on a deep, insightful exploration into a truly profound set of sources, guided by the extraordinary wisdom of Dr. Joseph Murphy, particularly his groundbreaking book, How to Attract Money.
Right.
And it's a perspective that, it challenges much of what we've probably been taught.
That's our mission for this deep dive, to peel back the layers of Dr. Murphy's utterly unique and, I'd even say radical perspective on wealth, prosperity, and the incredible, often untapped power of your own mind. We're not just going to tell you what he taught, but critically, we're going to unpack how these powerful principles can actually be applied in your life.
Yeah, the how is key.
Think of this as your personal shortcut to being genuinely well-informed about a truly surprising and deeply spiritual approach to abundance.
And here's where his work really stands out, setting a powerful precedent. Dr. Murphy offers a path to always having a surplus, to actually make friends with money, and to achieve a fuller, more wonderful existence.
Make friends with money, I like that.
He emphasizes something truly liberating. Your desire to be rich isn't something to be ashamed of. On the contrary, he asserts it's a cosmic urge.
A cosmic urge.
Wow.
It is, in his words, good. Very good. And this isn't just some feel-good statement. It's really a foundational belief that underpins his entire philosophy. We're going to dig into just how he arrives at that profound and freeing conclusion.
All right, let's unpack this right from the very beginning, because Dr. Murphy doesn't exactly tiptoe around conventional wisdom. He kind of confronts it head on.
He really does. And replaces it with something genuinely bold. He states unequivocally, it is your right to be rich. Now, for many of us, given how we're often conditioned to think about wealth maybe as something for the lucky few, or even something morally, questionable, that might sound audacious. So what does he truly mean when he makes such a radical assertion?
It's a complete paradigm shift, isn't it? When Dr. Murphy declares it's your inherent right to be rich, he's absolutely not suggesting some shallow entitlement to just material stuff.
Right, not just stuff.
No. Instead, he's articulating a much broader, more holistic concept. Your fundamental divine right to lead an abundant life.
Abundant life. Okay.
And this isn't just about financial solvency. It includes being genuinely happy, radiant, free from all forms of lack. And within that expansive vision of an abundant life, he explicitly includes having all the money you need to lead a full, happy, prosperous life.
So money is definitely part of it, but not the whole picture.
Exactly. It's about being able to grow, to expand your horizons, to unfold your full potential spiritually, mentally, and materially. He challenges the very idea that you should be content with just enough.
Why settle?
Right. Why settle for scarcity when you can enjoy the boundless riches of the infinite, as he puts it? It's a profound counter-narrative to any lingering idea that there might be virtue in poverty or, self-denial. He firmly asserts that a person who is constantly worried about money or always on the brink of financial collapse simply cannot be truly free. You can't explore your potential or contribute fully if your mind is just stuck on survival.
And speaking of poverty, he goes even further, almost startlingly so. He defines poverty itself as a mental disease.
Yeah.
He says it should be abolished from the face of the earth. That's an incredibly strong, almost unyielding claim. How does he justify equating financial lack with something as severe as a physical illness? For someone facing genuine hardship, that might sound, challenging.
It's designed to be challenging, I think, to sort of jolt us out of complacency, maybe even victimhood.
Okay.
He draws this direct, stark analogy. If you were physically ill, you would immediately recognize something was fundamentally wrong with your body, right?
Yeah.
You'd seek help, take action.
Sure, naturally.
Similarly, Murphy argues that if you do not have money constantly circulating in your life, there is something radically wrong with you. He's implying that financial lack isn't just external circumstance or bad luck.
It's internal.
Yes. It's a symptom of an internal mental imbalance, just like a physical illness signifies a bodily imbalance. It's not about blame, though, not in a punitive way. It's about empowering you by shifting the responsibility and the power for change from outside conditions to your internal state.
So it comes back to mindset again.
Completely. He views poverty as a condition born of a certain mindset, limitation, fear, lack that can be treated and overcome, just like any other ailment. It's a call for self-reflection and internal transformation, not just passively accepting things.
So, if poverty is indeed a mental disease, then it fundamentally changes how we're supposed to view money and its true significance, doesn't it? Because for so many, money carries just an enormous amount of baggage. Good, evil.
Precisely. Murphy brilliantly cuts through that perception. First, he defines money fundamentally as a symbol of exchange.
Just a symbol.
Yeah, he reminds us of its history. Salt, beads, livestock back in the day, now paper, checks, digital transfers. The crucial point is that the medium itself, whether it's a cow or a crypto coin, isn't inherently good or evil.
It just is.
It just is. It's a representation of value, a tool, a means to facilitate transactions. Like air or water, it's neutral.
That distinction really simplifies things. Like you said, I can't exactly carry a cow around to buy coffee.
Right.
But he takes it beyond just a practical medium, doesn't he? He talks about what money symbolizes for us on a much deeper level.
He absolutely does. Beyond just currency, money, for Murphy, symbolizes freedom from want. It represents beauty, luxury, abundance, as also refinement.
Okay, so it enables more than just survival.
Exactly. He connects this to tangible, often higher human aspirations.
Yeah.
Taking that dream trip, immersing yourself in art and culture, pursuing education, sending your kids to a great school.
Raising them in nice surroundings.
Yes, being able to raise your children in beautiful, harmonious surroundings where they can appreciate beauty, order, symmetry. For Murphy, money isn't just about necessities. It's a powerful tool that enables a life of richer experience, deeper personal expression, and ultimately contributes to your full spiritual and intellectual development. It gives you the freedom to pursue things that nourish your soul.
And this leads right into tackling those common, deeply ingrained misconceptions. We hear phrases like filthy lucre or the misquoted money is the root of all evil.
Which is actually the love of money.
Right, the love of money. Murphy directly addresses these, calls them fallacies. So what's his counter-argument to these condemnations?
His counter-argument is really insightful. It places the responsibility squarely where it belongs. Not on the money, but on the human mind.
Back to the mind again.
Always. He states the evil doesn't come from money, gold, or silver, but from man's darkened understanding, from his unenlightened mind, from his false interpretation of life, and his misuse of divine power.
Wow.
And he uses these great everyday analogies. He asks, is gold evil? Is silver evil? They're just elements. Then he compares them to electricity, water, fire, even a simple needle.
Things that are neutral tools.
Exactly. Electricity can light your home beautifully or harm someone. Water can quench thirst or drown someone. Fire provides warmth or destroys. A needle can sow or hurt.
So the core message is the tool itself is neutral. It's our use of it, our intention and understanding that determines whether it's good or bad in effect. That really shifts the responsibility entirely to us, doesn't it?
Precisely. It's a profound decentralization of blame. It empowers you. He even touches on a scientific view, pointing out that all elements, gold, silver, paper, are just different arrangements of electrons and protons.
Getting down to the atomic level.
Yeah, he says they can even be transmuted. He asks, kind of provocatively, I cannot imagine seeing anything evil in electrons, neutrons, protons, and isotopes. This just further supports his view that money is neutral energy, a symbol. Any perceived evil comes purely from human actions, intentions, and the consciousness behind its use.
It almost hints at, like, if everything's energy, our thoughts and feelings, also energy, can influence that energy.
That's exactly where he's going, where metaphysics starts meeting physics, in a way.
Fascinating. Okay, so money is a tool, not inherently good or bad. But he also warns against another big pitfall. Making money the sole aim in life. It feels like a very fine line, right? Desire wealth is good, but obsessing is bad. Where's the balance?
It's an absolutely crucial distinction. It speaks to true abundance. While it's good and divinely inspired to desire wealth, Murphy warns that making money your sole aim, excluding everything else that truly enriches life, leads to a deeply unbalanced life.
And the result?
The inevitable outcome, he says, is frustration, disappointment, as also disillusionment. He wisely quotes, Man does not live by bread alone, to remind us that true human desires go beyond just material stuff.
We want other things too.
Of course. We yearn for peace of mind, harmony, love, joy, or perfect health. These are profound spiritual aspects, and money can't buy them directly. The ultimate desire for Murphy isn't just a fat wallet, but inner peace, feeling you're in the right place, plus all the abundance you need. It's true peace of mind with abundance. Without inner harmony, just stacking cash leads to a hollow existence.
So it's about a holistic balance, money serving a greater purpose. And what about those divine urges? He says they are God-given and good, yet they can be dangerously misdirected. What's an example of how that misdirection plays out?
He gives this really poignant example. A young boy has a good, God-given urge for growth, for education. He wants to go to college.
A noble goal.
Totally. A natural, healthy desire. But if out of a perceived lack of means, he misdirects that urge by stealing or embezzling money to get there, he violates cosmic laws, and societal ones too.
And that leads to trouble.
Devastating negative experiences, Murphy explains. First, he traps himself in his own mind, fear, guilt, dread of exposure. This internal prison then manifests as physical imprisonment. The original desire was pure, but the method, born of a darkened understanding or belief that abundance had to come illicitly, led to negative consequences. It underscores that true abundance includes integrity and peace of mind, not just cash.
So it's not just about getting the money, but how you get it, and crucially, your internal state while you're pursuing it, which leads us perfectly into the core mechanism. Dr. Murphy calls it the royal road to riches through conscious application. And he starts with this fundamental principle. Wealth is a state of consciousness.
Yes, this is where the deeper philosophy really anchors. For Murphy, wealth is a state of consciousness. It is a mind conditioned to divine supply forever flowing. This, he says flat out, is the knowledge of the spiritual power.
Not just positive thinking, then.
No, it's deeper. It's a radical assertion that your inner world, your beliefs, your feelings, is the primary driver of your outer reality. True financial security comes not from the stock market, but from an unshakable inner conviction of abundance. That's the core shift.
And when he says divine supply, what does he mean? God dropping cash on you?
Not exactly like that. It's more like the inexhaustible, intelligent, formative power within the universe itself, and crucially, within your own subconscious mind. It's a universal principle of abundance, like gravity, always present and responsive to your inner state.
And he uses this really elegant analogy of the tide to explain it, which I found helpful.
He does. The scientific thinker, he says, views wealth like a tide. It flows in, it flows out, but it always comes back. The tides never fail, he emphasizes. Neither will man supply when he trusts a tireless, changeless, immortal, omnipresent presence that flows ceaselessly.
So there's this eternal, reliable source.
Exactly. Always available. A cosmic ebb and flow. Even if there's a temporary outgoing, the return is guaranteed when you align with this presence. It's the conviction that supply is infinite.
So this concept, wealth is consciousness, it sounds like it makes you almost immune to external economic stuff, like crashes or depressions. Is that what he's suggesting?
Precisely. A student of these laws, someone who has truly cultivated this consciousness, remains remarkably unconcerned by economic situations, stock market fluctuations, depressions, strikes, war, or other conditions.
They just know they'll be okay.
They have an inner knowing they'll always be amply supplied. Murphy gives this powerful example. The German marks after World War I became worthless, right? Hyperinflation.
Yeah.
He argues that even if your money became valueless like that, you would still attract wealth and be cared for, regardless of the new currency's form. Why? Because your consciousness of supply transcends any specific external system. Your security is rooted in the infinite, not the fluctuating.
Okay, so given this profound idea, how do we actually impress this idea of constant divine supply onto our subconscious mind? He mentions a simple way to begin.
The simple way sounds simple, but needs discipline. It involves quieting the conscious mind, relaxing completely, immobilizing your attention, entering a sleepy, drowsy, meditative state.
Why drowsy?
Crucial state. It reduces mental effort, bypasses the critical conscious mind, makes the subconscious more receptive. Once there, you gently reflect on deep truths. Where do ideas come from? Wealth, your mind. You trace it all back to the one source.
Okay.
Then the core affirmation, like a mantra. Money is forever circulating freely in my life, and there is always a divine surplus. He says, repeat this slowly, 4 or 5 minutes, 3 or 4 times a day, quietly to yourself, particularly before you go to sleep.
Is it just mechanical repetition then? Just saying the words over and over?
Not at all. He explicitly warns, idle, mechanical repetition will not succeed. The truly crucial element is to begin to feel the truth of what you affirm.
Ah, the feeling again.
Always the feeling. It's not the words, but the conviction behind them. You have to deeply know what you're doing and why. Understanding your deeper self is responsive to what you consciously accept as true. Infuse the words with genuine feeling, belief, knowing it's already true at a deeper level. That's the key.
This brings up a really interesting and practical point, something he calls the beginner's paradox with affirmations. He says, for some people, saying, I am wealthy, can actually make things worse. Why is that? What's the conflict?
This is a critical nuance. If someone's really struggling financially and their dominant deep feeling is acute lack, then affirmations like I am wealthy create this immediate, jarring internal conflict.
Like your mind argues back.
Exactly. Conscious mind says I am wealthy. Subconscious, operating on deep convictions and dominant feelings, screams back, no, you're not. Look at your bank account. You're broke.
Yeah.
Because the feeling of lack is dominant. The affirmation actually triggers and amplifies that mood of lack. The subconscious accepts the dominant idea, the feeling of lack, and attracts more of it. It's a psychological tug of war, and the stronger negative feeling wins.
So how does Murphy suggest a beginner navigate that? How do you get past that internal conflict?
The ingenious solution for beginners is to affirm something both conscious and subconscious minds can agree on. Something that doesn't trigger immediate resistance.
Like what?
Instead of a blunt, I am wealthy, use statements like, I am prospering every day, or I am growing in wealth and in wisdom every day. For a salesperson, my sales are increasing every day.
Things that feel possible.
Right. Murphy gives an example. A salesman with only 10 cents can genuinely agree his sales could increase tomorrow. These statements are sound psychologically and acceptable to your mind because they don't create that inner contradiction. The conscious mind says, yeah, that's possible. And the subconscious, without resistance, starts working on making it real, building momentum.
That makes so much practical sense. So for those who are more spiritually advanced, the direct affirmations like, I am prosperous, do work. What's the difference in their mindset?
The difference is profound. For the spiritually advanced, when they say, I am prosperous, it's not just wishful thinking. Their affirmation comes from a deep felt understanding that God is all supply or infinite riches, and crucially, that this divine essence, this source, is within them.
They're connected to it.
Completely. Their belief system is robust. Their identification with infinite supply is complete. There's no internal conflict. They genuinely believe in and identify with that boundless source within, making their affirmation a declaration of truth, not a plea. They operate from a consciousness of inherent abundance.
He also mentions a rather unique indirect technique involving a mirror, repeating health, wealth, success. How does that work? Why does it avoid the mental opposition?
This is a remarkably powerful and subtle method. You stand before a mirror, maybe while shaving or getting ready, and quietly, for 5 or 10 minutes, repeat these 3 abstract ideas: health, wealth, success.
Just the words, not I am.
Exactly. The brilliance is in the abstraction. By using these broad, universal concepts, they create no immediate, direct mental opposition. The mind, quiet, relaxed, not directly challenged by a personal statement contradicting current reality, becomes passive and receptive.
Sneaky.
Kind of. By simply identifying with these truths that are eternal, changeless, and timeless, you impress these qualities onto the subconscious without engaging the conscious mind's doubt. It's a clever way to bypass the internal critic and plant the seed directly.
So it's bypassing the critic to impress the subconscious. That's clever. And he gives an incredible example of this imagination power with an Australian boy who wanted to be a doctor. Can you detail that? How does it illustrate these principles?
This is a truly inspiring story. This young boy in Australia, from very humble beginnings, no money, hadn't finished high school, had this unwavering dream of becoming a physician.
Against the odds.
Totally. Yeah. Every single night, drifting off to sleep, he'd vividly imagine seeing a diploma on a wall. He'd cleaned doctors' offices, so he knew what they looked like. He engraved this image in his mind, seeing his name in bold letters. He kept this up for months.
Just the image.
Just the image, the end result. Murphy says the boy operated a great law unconsciously. His mentor, Trode, often said, having seen the end, you have willed the means to the realization of the end. The boy's true wealth wasn't money, but his conviction and his use of the spiritual power within him, which responded to his clear mental impression.
And the means, the specific how it happened, was hidden from him, wasn't it? He just focused on the diploma.
Absolutely. Murphy stresses this. The specific how is almost always hidden from our conscious minds. You only need to Imagine to accept the end in his mind, yet leave its realization to the universal, all-pervasive subjective wisdom contained within.
And that wisdom finds the way.
It orchestrates the perfect means. In the boy's case, one of the doctors he worked for liked him, saw his potential, trained him as an assistant, and then, remarkably, sponsored his entire high school and college education. Today, that boy is a prominent doctor in Montreal.
Wow.
Murphy emphasizes that after meditating on the end, you're often compelled to do whatever is necessary for the realization of your ideal. Inner action always precedes outer action. The internal blueprint comes first.
He even experienced this himself with his book Magic of Faith being translated into French, which seems like a perfect personal illustration.
It is, and it really grounds his teachings. Murphy recounts how for weeks before sleep, he'd vividly imagined reading his book Magic of Faith in French, imagined it distributed widely in French-speaking nations.
Did he do anything practically? Call publishers?
He consciously did nothing externally, no calls, no agents. Yet just before Christmas 1954, he got an unsolicited contract from a leading Paris publisher asking him to sign for the French edition.
Just like that.
Just like that. He attributes it to the subjective wisdom taking over, bringing it about in a way better than he could consciously devise. A powerful testament. Do the inner work, and the outer manifestation can unfold unexpectedly.
Fascinating. So it's not about forcing the how, but vividly imagining and feeling the what. This takes us beautifully into Section 3, unpacking a rich metaphor Murphy uses, the biblical story of water into wine.
Yeah.
He reinterprets this as a core teaching for transforming inner states into outer reality. What's the fundamental meaning here?
Murphy explains the story from John 2 not just as a miracle, but as a timeless figurative teaching of practical, everyday psychology and a way of life. The core meaning is empowering. You possess the inherent spiritual power to transform the raw material of your mind, your consciousness, thoughts, beliefs, into the desired reality.
Consciously directing your inner world creates the outer.
Exactly.
And what do water and wine specifically symbolize in this context?
Water, Murphy says, represents the mind or consciousness. Like water taking the shape of its container, your mind takes the shape of what's poured into it. Your dominant beliefs, feelings, convictions. It's the formless potential.
Okay, the raw stuff.
Right. Wine, on the other hand, represents the realization of your desires, urges, plans, dreams, or simply answered prayer, the materialization of your ideal. It's the desired outcome, the tangible manifestation of your inner state, the form emerging from the formless. The good wine life offers when your inner state aligns.
So it really emphasizes that fundamental law of action and reaction, doesn't it? The inner world perfectly reflecting the outer.
Exactly. This is an absolutely fundamental, unyielding principle for Murphy, a universal law. He states unequivocally, your external world, body, circumstances, environment, and financial status are always a perfect reflection of your inner thinking, beliefs, feelings, and convictions.
It governs everything.
Your internal mental movements and imagery govern, control, and direct the external plane in your life. He quotes, "As he thinketh in his heart, so is he," defining heart as the subconscious mind. So, internal state dictates external reality, which leads to the crucial point. True prayer, or manifestation, is a marriage of thought and feeling, or your idea and emotion.
That union creates the result.
Yes, that deep internal union leads to manifestation, whether the outcome is good, bad, or indifferent, because the law is impartial. It just responds.
To really drive this home, he gives another compelling case study. The beauty operator facing dire challenges who transformed her life using these principles. Can you walk us through her situation and how she applied this?
Her situation was frankly desperate. She ran a small hair salon, but her mother got very ill, needing a lot of care. Her attention to the business slipped.
Understandable.
Tragically, 2 assistants embezzled funds.
Yeah.
Led her straight into bankruptcy. Lost her home, deep in debt, couldn't pay hospital bills, unemployed, hopeless.
Rock bottom.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Her initial despair was profound. She told Murphy, "It is a cruel world. I cannot pay my bills. I do not pray, for I have lost hope." Completely absorbed in the crushing external reality, unaware of the internal root cause.
So she had to overcome that deep inner conflict, that mental tug-of-war Murphy talks about, her desire versus her reality.
Precisely. A classic struggle. Conscious desire. Mother gets healthy. Ingrained thoughts, feelings. She can't be healed. It's getting worse. Constant debilitating mental friction.
So how does she resolve that?
Murphy helped her see that true prayer, effective manifestation, is a mental marriage feast, resolving this tug of war. It's about consciously, persistently writing what you desire into your subconscious, overriding and dissolving conflicting negative thoughts until the positive becomes dominant within.
And how did she perform her first miracle, as he calls it? What was her specific imaginative routine before sleep?
Before bed each night, she adopted a precise 3-step imaginative routine, infusing each step with feeling. First, for about 5 minutes, she vividly imagined her bank manager congratulating her on large deposits. Visualized the ledger, felt the excitement. Second, she imagined hearing her mother joyously say, "I am so happy about your wonderful new position," holding that feeling of relief for 3 to 5 minutes.
And
Third, perhaps most strikingly, she imagined Dr. Murphy himself performing her marriage ceremony, vividly hearing him say, "I now pronounce you man and wife." She'd drift off feeling the joy and relief as if it already happened.
But as often happens, it wasn't instant, right? She faced more adversity initially. That must have been tough.
It's a crucial point Murphy emphasizes. He clearly states, nothing happened for 3 weeks. In fact, things get much worse. This is often where people give up when the old reality seems to push back harder.
But she didn't give up.
She persevered with incredible fortitude, refused to abandon her mental picture. She understood her consciousness, the water, had to become completely charged by her constant, true, happy imagery. She knew she had to shift her fear to faith, her mood of lack to a mood of opulence, regardless of appearances. This perseverance is a critical lesson.
And the ultimate outcome, her triumph.
Truly remarkable. In less than a month from starting, a dramatic transformation. She married. Her new husband gave her a $24,000 wedding gift. Huge money then, and a trip around the world.
Wow.
Her new expression as a beauty operator, metaphorically, wasn't a salon, but beautifying her new home and garden, making the desert of her mind rejoice and blossom as the rose. Her persistent, joyful, felt imagery transformed her inner state, which then manifested a profoundly positive outer reality. Water into wine.
So once you've effectively developed this film in your mind, this inner picture, there's a crucial rule about protecting it. What is that rule? Why is it vital?
Murphy gives a vital instruction, using the photo-developing analogy. Do not expose this newly developed film to the shattering light of fear, doubt, despondency, or worry.
Just like real film in a dark room.
Exactly. Light too soon ruins the photo. Allowing negative thoughts or external negativity to penetrate your fresh mental image destroys its potential. It needs careful mental protection during incubation.
And what's the immediate response when those inevitable negative thoughts, fears, worries creep in? Because they will.
When fear or worry knocks, Murphy says immediately turn inward to the beautiful mental picture and say, with conviction, a beautiful picture is being developed now in the dark house of my mind. Then mentally pour joy, faith, and understanding onto it.
How do you pour joy onto it?
Immerse yourself in the feeling of having achieved it. Close your eyes, visualize vividly, deeply feel the relief, joy, gratitude, peace that would come with it. Bring the emotional reality into the present moment. Refuse power to the negative thought. Know you're operating a law, and what is impressed shall be expressed. It's constant, active mental gardening.
That leads perfectly into Section 4, unpacking what Dr. Murphy calls the thieves of the mind, the internal obstacles to abundance many people unknowingly allow to sabotage them. The first one, condemnation and resentment. He says chillingly, you lose what you condemn. How does that work?
It's a profound, often counterintuitive principle, a subtle self-sabotage. Murphy explains when you silently or openly condemn money or others' wealth, you create a mental vibration of rejection.
Pushing it away.
Exactly. It causes what you desire to take wings to fly away. Your negative thoughts toward something you want actually push it away. He gives the example of a man constantly condemning successful people, calling them racketeers, fakers.
And he's struggling himself.
Almost invariably in want, struggling financially.
Yeah.
His negative thoughts cause the wealth and prosperity he is praying for to vanish. He's praying two ways. Part of him wants wealth, another part condemns it. Internal conflict cancels out positive intentions.
So if condemnation pushes abundance away, then the antidote is blessing others.
Yes, precisely. A profound act of mental generosity that paradoxically benefits you most. He advises, always make it a special point to bless the other person. Rejoice in his prosperity and success. When you consciously, genuinely do this, you bless as well as prosper yourself.
So see a competitor succeed and be happy for them.
Exactly. He gives that scenario. See a competitor deposit more money. Instead of jealousy, rejoice and be exceedingly glad to see God's abundance being manifested through one of his sons. Not just noble, it's pragmatic. What you bless, you multiply and attract. What you condemn, you diminish and lose. It's a mirror.
He also mentions self-dismissal in the workplace, another subtle form of this. How does that play out?
Very common, often unrecognized. If you're an employee silently resenting being underpaid, feeling unappreciated, believing you deserve more but don't act constructively.
Just stewing in it.
Right. Murphy warns you are subconsciously severing your ties with that organization. You're setting a law in motion through your negative mental state. And the manager who eventually lets you go, merely an instrument or messenger of your own negative state about yourself and your value there.
Wow. Your inner feeling manifests the outer separation.
Direct application of action and reaction.
And what about dishonest gain? Some people seem to get away with unethical ways of getting rich, but Murphy insists you're always robbing yourself. How does that manifest?
He is incredibly clear on this. The universe operates on perfect balance. Defrauding others, theft, trickery, deceit, ultimately harms yourself far more deeply. It's a mood of internal lack and fear, believing you can't get your good honestly, that attracts loss back to you.
Maybe not money loss, but other ways.
Exactly. The loss may not necessarily come in loss of money immediately, but can manifest devastatingly. Loss of health, prestige, peace of mind, social status, sickness in the home or in business. He tells of a man who got rich trampling others through deceit, only to end up with a debilitating illness like cancer.
So the price is high.
The true price can be severe mental physical disease, guilt complexes, insomnia, hidden fears. He fundamentally teaches you can be wealthy without hurting anyone, and the honest path is the only one to true, lasting abundance and peace.
So it's really the inner thief, our own negative beliefs and fears, that causes outer loss. He gives that example of the woman hoarding coffee during the war.
Yes, a perfect illustration. This woman, consumed by intense fear of rationing, frantically bought and hoarded coffee, way beyond her needs.
Panic buying.
Exactly. That very evening, while she was out, burglars broke in and stole not only all the hoarded coffee, but silverware, money, jewelry too.
Oh my goodness.
Murphy explains she was in a consciousness of fear when hoarding. Her mood of fear, her dominant internal state of lack, was enough to bring significant external loss. Even though she didn't steal, her internal fear of lack produced external lack. The inner thief operates even for outwardly good people harboring inner resentment or fear.
And the powerful story of the bank teller with the guilt complex provides another example of an inner thief manifesting externally, unrelated to money itself.
That's a truly profound cautionary tale. This teller was outwardly honest, never stole a cent, but secretly he had an illicit affair, financially supporting another woman, lying to his family.
Living a double life.
Yes, under crushing weight of fear of discovery. Led to profound, constant guilt and self-condemnation. This internal pattern of accusing and condemning himself manifested externally. He was suddenly, shockingly, falsely accused of embezzling at the bank.
Whoa.
A serious, reputation-destroying accusation. But when he finally realized, through Murphy's guidance, his own internal pattern was manifesting this outer accusation, he bravely broke off the relationship, diligently prayed for harmony and clarity. Truth prevailed, another man was found guilty. His inner thief, his guilt, directly led to the outer turmoil.
This sounds like a direct application of the golden rule, as you would that men should think you about them in the same manner. Not just morals, but a cosmic law.
Absolutely. Murphy elevates the golden rule to a cosmic divine law, a fundamental principle of manifestation. He instructs us to sincerely wish for every man who walks the earth what I wish for myself: peace, love, joy, abundance, God's blessings.
When you genuinely rejoice in others' success,
You are, by cosmic law, actively blessing and multiplying what you're praying for yourself. And he connects this to storing up treasures in heaven. Not afterlife wealth, but filling your mind with peace, harmony, faith, joy, honesty, integrity, loving kindness, gentleness. Conversely, hatred, resentment corrode the heart, destroying your own inner treasure and potential.
So holding on to those negative thoughts literally corrodes your own inner treasure. And this brings up a common reason people fail: praying two ways.
This is a critical point of failure. Sabotages countless efforts. Murphy says many fail because they're inconsistent. They might affirm God is their infinite supply, they're prospered.
And then minutes later,
Completely contradicted. I can't pay this bill, I can't afford this, a jinx is following me. These negative statements, spoken with feeling, neutralize your positive prayers. Like driving with one foot on the gas, one on the brake.
mixed signal.
Profoundly mixed signals to your subconscious, which gets confused, unable to act decisively. The subconscious acts only on the dominant impression.
So what's the crucial solution? How do we avoid praying two ways? Ensure clear mental messages.
Cultivate unwavering faithfulness to your plan or your goal. Remain true to your knowledge of the spiritual power. Consciously, vigilantly cease making negative marriages, his metaphor for uniting thoughts and feelings with negative thoughts, fears, and worries.
Like being married to negativity.
Exactly. He uses the analogy of a captain directing a ship. You're the captain. Thoughts, feelings, beliefs are orders to your ship, your mental attitude, your life. Have a clear destination, opulence. Keep your eye on the beam. Ignore obstacles, delays, impediments that cause deviation. Unyielding loyalty to your positive ideal. Mental discipline, ensuring inner harmony aligns with desired outer reality.
This unwavering loyalty brings us to Section 5, Practical Application. How does Dr. Murphy suggest we implement this daily, especially for tangible concerns like investments or recurring financial problems?
He gives specific, actionable prayers and affirmations to impress the subconscious with abundance and protection. For investments, daily affirm with conviction. Infinite intelligence governs and watches over all my financial transactions. Whatsoever I do shall prosper.
And that helps make good decisions?
He claims it prompts wise decisions, guides you to opportunities, provides unseen protection from loss, even prompts intuition to sell before losses. For home, business, possessions, daily pray. The overshadowing presence watches over all my possessions, home, business, and all my things. God is my fortress and vault. All my possessions are secure in God. Builds consciousness of security in vulnerability.
And for those agonizing sleepless nights with money worries, fret and worry, what's his method?
A beautiful trust-based method. Before sleep, when the mind's receptive, repeat. Now I shall sleep in peace. I have turned this matter over to the God wisdom within. It only knows the answer. As the sun rises in the morning, so will my answer be resurrected.
So let go and trust.
Exactly. Consciously release the burden. Don't fret, fuss, fume. Sleep on it, literally. Trust the deeper wisdom of your subconscious, connected to infinite intelligence, works on it while you sleep, bringing counsel, inspiration, or a solution by morning. Let go and trust the greater power within.
What's particularly fascinating is he also finds profound value in poor states of consciousness. How can poverty, fear, limitations ever be considered good or a catalyst for growth?
A truly profound philosophical point, turning adversity into opportunity. He argues, we could not know what abundance was, except we were conscious of lack. Poor states like fear, ignorance, worry, pain aren't inherently negative if they serve as powerful catalysts.
They push us.
Yes, it is through these limitations we grow. Problems, difficulties aren't roadblocks, but invaluable opportunities to discover inner power you never knew you had. He says beautifully, through dissatisfaction, we are led to satisfaction. Suffering isn't senseless. It prods us, drives us to discover the truth which sets you free, leads to Shakespeare's sweet uses of adversity.
So life is progression.
Always. When one desire is satisfied, another emerges, always seeking more light, wisdom, happiness to go from glory to glory. We are, in this quest, always poor, in that we never reach the absolute end of knowledge, which fuels continuous expansion.
So poor states are cosmic alarm systems pushing us towards growth, understanding, truth, and then he talks about feeling as the law. How does this crucial concept of feeling directly relate to manifestation?
Absolutely central. Perhaps the most critical insight, Murphy unequivocally states, all that is necessary to express happiness and prosperity is to feel happy and prosperous. He categorically declares the feeling of wealth produces wealth. States of consciousness manifest themselves.
Feeling is the law.
Yes. He quotes, all that ever came before me, feeling, are thieves and robbers. Feeling is the law, and the law is feeling. Your dominant emotional state, deep conviction, inner feeling, is the engine of manifestation, the universal principle dictating what shows up. Not a byproduct, it's the cause. Want wealth. Embody the feeling of wealth, not just wish for it. Reject external opinions, darkness and ignorance, denying your good. Your dominant feelings are the true determinant. The external world must conform to your internal feeling.
And he brings back Quimby's teaching. Man is belief expressed. Our deepest beliefs infused with feeling are what we embody and experience. How does this play out in the royal road to riches in action, beyond just affirmations?
He reinforces that early conditioning, like a poverty-stricken home, can create a deep poverty complex. But this ingrained pattern can be entirely overcome through conscious, consistent application of these principles through scientific prayer.
He gives another example.
Yes, the young man from Hell's Kitchen in New York. Extremely difficult beginnings, no formal training, but a naturally wonderful singing voice, undeveloped. He applied scientific imagination diligently. Every day, sat quietly, relaxed, vividly imagined singing before a microphone, actually reaching out to feel it. Consistently imagined Murphy congratulating him on an international singing contract.
Then it worked.
This consistent, devoted mental imagery, filled with feeling, led to an Italian voice instructor spontaneously offering free lessons and eventually a lucrative singing contract abroad. His hidden talents and ability to release them were his real riches.
It's also about being useful.
Yes, he mentions a minister who prayed, "God reveals to me better ways to present the truths of God to my fellow creatures," and money poured in for his church, focused on contribution. It all comes back to change the outside, you must change the inside. As in heaven, so on earth. Or as in my mind or consciousness, so is it in my body, circumstances, and environment. An undeniable law.
That's a truly powerful principle. Transforming the external has to begin and be sustained within. And that leads to this beautiful metaphor of marrying wealth. What does he mean by this mental union, this marriage?
It's a profound analogy, drawing on intimate human bonds. Murphy says very directly, your wife is what you are mentally joined to, united with, or at one with. Whatever dominant concept, belief, feeling you hold in mind, consistently dwell on, that's what you're married to subconsciously.
And the consequences.
Immediate and profound. If married to fear, doubt, criticism, anger, lack, then the children of that mental marriage are negative experiences, undesirable conditions, challenges.
So the true marriage should be with wealth and abundance, and the positive qualities. How do we enact that? Perform this symbolic mental wedding.
To marry wealth, consciously, consistently claim, feel, believe with absolute conviction. God supplies all my needs according to his riches and glory, or choose another resonant affirmation like, I am divinely expressed and I have a wonderful income.
Not just rote repetition.
No. Actively pour life, love, and feeling on it, making it alive within consciousness. He used the Adam idea concept and Eve emotion-feeling analogy. The marriage feast of a clear idea and strong nurturing emotion, Eve as mothering principle, is key. You must mother the idea, love and feel it as already true, sustain that inner emotional reality for it to manifest.
Like the Zen monk example.
Yes, placing the bag down, casting burden on divine wisdom, picking it up, singing, mental rest, relief, knowing answer is coming, illustrates mental surrender and joyful expectancy. This internal shift is the marriage, the external then conforms.
And that ties into the idea that the good wine is always present. What's the final message here about the good wine and our access to it?
Thou hast kept the good wine until now signifies a profound realization. The good wine is always present, for God is the eternal now. Not something to wait for, strive for, hope arrives one day. An ever-present, infinite reality available now.
How do we access it?
Go on the high watch, Murphy encourages. Constantly envision your good. Dwell with an unwavering focus on a new concept of yourself as abundant. Become intimately married to that ideal. Sustain a happy, expectant mood, knowing deep down it is done. You possess heaven's riches within you now, infinite potential. Through conscious, sustained mental union, bring them forth, live from the end.
What an incredible journey through Dr. Joseph Murphy's powerful and transformative philosophy of attracting abundance. It's truly a different lens through which to view our potential. Now let's take a moment to understand the man behind these insights. Who was Dr. Joseph Murphy, the architect of abundance? What shaped his message?
Dr. Joseph Murphy was born in County Cork, Ireland, May 20th, 1898. Strict Catholic household. Father, a Jesuit professor, instilled deep intellectual curiosity, discipline, desire to learn.
But he didn't stay Catholic.
No, late teens began profoundly questioning Orthodox teachings, led him to withdraw from the seminary, courageously journeyed to America, arrived with only $5, faced a language barrier. Gaelic was his primary language.
So, truly humble beginnings, a classic immigrant story, striking that someone teaching poverty as a mental disease experienced such lack himself.
Indeed. He didn't just teach, he lived it. Initially a day laborer, any job to survive. But keen intellect, drive, led him to study pharmacy. Applied himself diligently, became a pharmacist, eventually bought his own drugstore.
But his spiritual path continued.
His deeper spiritual awakening blossomed after WWII. Enlisted as a pharmacist, found himself drawn back to religion, spirituality. Led to extensive, almost obsessive studies of various religious beliefs, philosophical systems worldwide.
And his studies went beyond Western thought, into ancient and Eastern wisdom.
Comprehensively. Became enraptured by Asian religions, traveled extensively to India, immersed himself in study of major world religions, ancient philosophers. But a truly pivotal influence was Dr. Thomas Trode.
His mentor.
Yes, brilliant English judge, philosopher, doctor, professor, became Murphy's revered mentor. Introduced him to philosophy, theology, law, mysticism, and the Masonic order. Murphy rose to 32nd degree Scottish Rite. This incredibly broad background shaped his unique brand of non-traditional Christianity.
So this diverse background led him to found his own organization, the Church of Divine Science, rather than fit into existing structures.
That's right. His integrated concept of Christianity, infused with universal metaphysical principles, was unconventional. Founded his own church in L.A. Message resonated immediately. Focused on optimism and hope. Innate power within individuals, not sin and damnation.
Became part of the New Thought movement.
A prominent proponent, New Thought combined metaphysical, spiritual, intensely pragmatic approach to uncover the secret of attaining what we truly desire. Emphasized individuals possess power to enrich lives by understanding, applying universal laws of mind.
And his ministry really exploded, reaching far beyond the church walls.
Grew immensely, exponentially. Local church became too large, moved to the iconic Wilshire Ebell Theater in L.A., regularly filled to capacity 1,300 to 1,500 for services, classes, launched a weekly radio talk show, massive success, eventually reaching a staggering 1 million listeners. Truly democratized these teachings.
He was also innovative with recordings, cutting edge for his time.
A true pioneer. Initially reluctant, but experimented recording talks, radio programs on 78 RPM discs. Immediate response astonishing. First 6 cassettes from these sold out in the first hour.
Wow.
Launched a massive venture. Recorded wisdom distributed widely through other New Thought churches, bookstores, mail order. His dedicated administrative secretary, Dr. Jean Wright, later his wife, played a crucial role, managing his busy schedule, travels, seminars on cruise ships. Prolific writing process.
Speaking of writing, incredibly prolific, over 30 books, The Power of the Unconscious Mind, a global bestseller.
Yes, extraordinary output. Over 30 books. Power of the Unconscious Mind, 1963, a global phenomenon, still sells millions. His writing process unique, almost mystical. Wife described him entering a trance-like state.
Oh, so...
Wrote alone 4 to 6 hours straight, no food or drink, intense focus, wouldn't return to manuscript till next morning, allowing ideas to flow unimpeded. Other notable works, Telepsychics, Amazing Laws of Cosmic Mind.
So given all this, what was the consistent core theme through all his work, his enduring legacy?
Consistent, unwavering core theme. Profoundly empowering. The solution to problems lies within oneself. Firmly believed and taught, your mind is your own. To live a better life, it's your mind, not outside circumstances, that you must change to create your own destiny.
And his wife summed it up.
After his passing in 1981, Dr. Gene Murphy powerfully reiterated his ultimate philosophy in 1986. I want to teach men and women of their divine origin and the powers regnant within them. I want to inform that this power is within and that they are their own saviors and capable of achieving their own salvation. She aptly called him a practical mystic.
Bridging spiritual and pragmatic.
Yes, his ultimate liberating message. You are the king, the ruler of your world, for you are one with God.
What an incredibly powerful and truly liberating message to absorb. We've really taken a transformative deep dive today into Dr. Joseph Murphy's profound philosophy.
We've truly uncovered how he radically reframes wealth, not luxury, but your inherent right. How he dares label poverty a mental disease, empowering us to heal it from within. Explore the vital role of impressing the subconscious with constant supply, how affirmations work, especially for beginners.
And we meticulously broke down water into wine, not just a story, but a practical tool for transforming inner states into outer reality, exemplified by the beauty operator's journey. Identified and learned how to overcome internal obstacles, the thieves of the mind like condemnation, fear, guilt, praying 2 ways.
We've truly seen how his principles apply daily specific prayers, understanding poor states as catalysts for growth. The absolute key, the feeling of wealth produces wealth. It is the law, and the law is feeling.
And all of this, every single principle, is accessible and directly applicable to you right now, regardless of current circumstances. Because, as Murphy taught through Quimby, man is belief expressed, and the journey is ever onward, upward, and Godward.
So here's a provocative thought for you to ponder. If consciousness of wealth produces wealth, what poor state of consciousness are you currently holding on to? What hidden fear, limiting belief, unexamined resentment might be the unrecognized catalyst for your next great expansion, pushing you towards a breakthrough?
Or perhaps.
Or maybe What deep, unfulfilled desire within you is the true voice of God speaking, telling you abundance is already yours, simply waiting to be mothered into vivid reality through your sustained feeling, conviction, unwavering faith.
Consider that the very adversity you might face today could be a disguised messenger, revealing a precious jewel within, prompting you to finally discover the immense power of your own mind and claim the abundance, joy, peace that is truly your divine right. Until next time, keep diving deep.
Thanks for tuning in to the Book Summary Podcast. If you found value in today's episode, hit that like button, subscribe for more summaries, and share it with someone who's ready to grow. Want deeper insights, exclusive book notes, and reading tips? Join our free newsletter. The link's in the description. And don't forget, if you'd like to read the full book, our affiliate link is right below. It helps support the channel and keeps the summaries coming. Until next time, keep reading, keep growing.